Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I release a legacy video every Friday. Hello everyone, Martin here, back with another legacy video. So I'm going to be playing today, once again, the Doomsday Tempo deck. And I wanted to maybe spend just a little bit longer than usual on the deck tech, because I feel like this deck deserves it. I'll preface things by saying that I'm recording this on the day after the May 2024 banned and restricted announcement, where the sticker and attraction cards from Unfinity were banned Legacy and Vintage, which basically only really means one thing in Legacy, which is that the name sticker Goblin is no longer with us, which is pretty significant. That pretty much has nuked at least one top tier deck out of orbit, which is the Turbo Goblins. I mean, I say this with just it's just from a theoretical standpoint, but that would seem to be the logical conclusion. I don't know that that deck can continue without Namesake Goblin. In fact, I would be quite surprised. Um, Whether or not, or rather, how goblins continue from here, I don't know. Goblin or Broadside Bombardiers is still a really strong card. So we'll have to wait and see. But it is a massive sort of weakening of the archetype. So it's just to say that I don't really know what meta I am playing into right now. Like, it's unclear to me here one day after what, if any, consequences this is going to have beyond the fact that that deck is no longer here. I don't know which archetypes that deck kind of preyed upon specifically, and whether there are some archetypes that will come back. My sort of first like level one analysis would be that perhaps this means that some amount of the players playing Turbo Goblins are going to revert to playing like Boros or Mono White Initiative. That is a deck that seemed to have more or less disappeared. And if that happens, then it is reasonable to assume that those kinds of decks are going to be slower but more disruptive. So there are going to be more prison pieces and maybe like one or two turns slower to reach their fundamental turn. And I think that's a net negative for the Doomsday archetype, but I don't know by how much. I think we would rather be racing goblins than facing like turn one Archons of Emeria or Magus of the Moon kind of things that can come out of Boar's initiative. Okay, so I've been playing this deck for a while now. I have, I want to say, 84 matches recorded, and I have a match win percentage of 71, which is insanely high for me. I haven't had that high of a match win percentage before. I know it's only 84 matches, so that is the big caveat. Sorry, I just actually rechecked. It is 73% match win percentage, so even better. But yeah, I've never been this high, and I usually don't really like to start talking about match win percentages until I would say at least like 100, 150 matches, and even then it's only like a very loose measuring stick because obviously it's not enough iterations to really start talking about anything being significant. But I think it's still worth saying that this has been the best performing deck for me at all with Doomsday in it so far. So and I didn't make this deck. Just full disclosure. I saw Wonderprew pilot this to a challenge win like a month ago or so, and my jaw dropped when I looked at the list. I was like, how does this even work? Like, what's up? We aren't supposed to be playing like Wasteland and Stifle in our Doomsday deck, and I just it's hard to really explain, but to say that it just kind of gels really well, and the tempo elements, the Wasteland, the Stifle, the Bowmasters in the main, they do a couple of different things. First of all, they force your opponent to have to respect some very off kilter things that you're not expecting at all from combo. It gives us like it enhances the power of days. If you're able to wasteland and stifle your opponent out of mana, then days becomes better. Stifle is just also a great tool. Having played with it now for a while, I kind of feel like even if something happens and the meta is shook up, I might still want to like at least fit one or two Stifle in my Doomsday deck, because just being able to randomly like it's both in a defensive and an offensive measure. Like being able to stifle an endurance trigger is cute, but also quite brutal. Being able to like stifle a storm trigger so you don't die, stifle the dark depths thing. I don't know. There's a lot of things, a lot of applications, and I'm kind of coming around to the fact that stifle has been underutilized for a while in Doomsday. Um, I did want to fit in a copy of Reanimate, which is something that Wonderproof wasn't playing. Um, and I ended up cutting the Singleton Thoughtseize, and that may or may not be correct. But having Reanimate, first of all, there's a little bit of a synergy with Predict. We can make a Predict pile that bins Thassa and gives us a Lotus Petal and Reanimate. But it's also just, it's in today's legacy, it's just not the worst thing to be leaving your house with a Reanimate. Um, there's so much scam going on that an opportune Reanimate on an opponent's big creature can be really good. Um, and if our Orcish Bowmasters gets forced, we can reanimate it. That's pretty good. But also because I wanted to try out this Harvester of Misery as a removal spell, specifically for Doorkeeper Thrall. But then, like having this in our deck, kind of also pushed me into wanting to try the reanimate. So far, so sort of okay. I have one like randomly like reanimated my opponent's Delver deck and like won a race with like an orc army and a flip Delver on my on my side. Um, I haven't had like big blowouts, but I kind of do like it. But yeah, this deck sometimes can just be a turbo Doomsday deck. You do have multiple cyclers, rituals, LED. So sometimes you just fan open Dark Ritual Doomsday, land pedal cycler, and you're off to the races. But it can also just take its time a little bit and play a bit of a disruption game towards the finishing line. I also really dig that we play one of each basic. I think that's a little bit of an underrated thing, having having the ability to not get blown out by the moon, of course, but also just by Wasteland, like play a little bit of a better Wasteland game. And then the sideboard, I it's a little bit of everything. I know that some players like Leyline of the Void. I don't. So I've decided to hedge versus the graveyard decks with two Grafdigger's Cages. Um, the Murktides have been really overperforming. Not just versus like tempo decks, where I do like to bring them in at least versus Dimir, where there are no Pyroblasts, but also just like bringing in a couple of Murktides is relatively low cost versus just like a wide range of decks. Because sometimes you just get to make a 7/7 or an 8/8, and if it's a versus an Ancient Tomb gamer or something, they might be at like 14 or 16 life, depending on the board state. And suddenly it's like, well, here's a 2-turn clock, and I'm also a Force of Will and Daze deck. So, um, yeah. Of the tempo elements, the the piece I've been most unsure about has been Wasteland. Um, like I feel like it is somewhere between being a surgical tool to take out like an Ursa Saga that would otherwise kill us out of painter or whatever, and being just a utility thing that can get people like do you if you have a wasteland, do you wasteland the tap duel on the other side that cast a ponder on turn one, or do you use it to pay for days later, that kind of thing. That's not completely clear to me. All right, I think with that said, I'm going to jump into a league. On the draw for round number one, this is obviously a mulligan, no mana. Wow, this is terrible. I'm going to mulligan this as well. Yep, all right, let's keep this, and we'll bottom. Maybe it's the Force of Will because there is no blue card. I think it's definitely the snow-covered island. Yeah. Maybe it's the Dark Ritual. Oh, I don't know. No, I'm gonna bottom the Force of Will here. Yeah, Camera Souls plus Orcish Bowmasters is not nothing, but it might not be relevant at all. And the problem is you can't sneak this through. As soon as I name uh, Archer or Orc here, they're gonna know what's up and they can play around. Um, so I think I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna name Orc, and then I'm gonna cast the Orc on their upkeep. Because if they have Brainstorm, wait, what's this cycle? Yeah, cycle or revealed. I guess maybe I just cast him now when they're tapped out. Actually, let me just have a look what they're getting. If it's Tundra, then that might influence me here. I might still cast it, but okay, it's drop. Okay, I'm gonna cast him, and we'll see if they might just have removal spell, in which case I'm probably just dead here. But this was kind of what my mulligan to 5 signed me up to do. Love to not see white mana here. Okay, it's not white mana. Okay, Beanstalk. I mean, we probably lose, but at least we are getting paid off with the Bowmaster a little bit here. And we drew the second Bowmasters. Wow, that's sick. Do I try to get them here? Like, I can maximize with 1 extra damage off of the army. That might just be worth it. I think so. I'm just gonna main phase this. Wow, that was a really nice draw. Still not sure if this actually ends up winning anything for us, but at least we are putting them under some amount of pressure here. They are pretty far away from casting something like Murktide here. Okay, there's white mana. What's this? White and blue. Oh, is this Leyline Binding? Okay, so they take 2. And what do you bind here? Do you bind you probably bind the Orc army? Yeah, you probably have to Leyline Binding the army here. Or no, they take the Bowmasters. Okay. If they have another binding, oh, but I have Stifle now. That's not nothing. Okay, let's see if we get to steal this. Another Leyline Binding. We can stifle the trigger. This looks like it's another binding. Oh, to fairy. Oh, bummer. Um, let's let's brainstorm in response. Okay, so they have to bounce the army, which then draws them a card, which then kills the fairy and gives me another army. So maybe it's just fine. Let's put away the Dark Ritual and the Tarn. I could Daze here just to get them to tap out. I don't know what they could have for 1 mana, but I'm not going to do that. Yeah, Teferi bounces the army. Army that draws a card. I'm going to ping Teferi here. I could ping them. Maybe that would have been more correct. And then I'm going to play my land here, and I don't think I want the I want 3 fresh cards, not the Dark Ritual. Ooh. I probably take these, and then I don't know. I want to say it's probably better to just be going for Doomsday, or sorry, for the Orc kill. Yeah, I don't know. They could have been at 2 now, but then with a Teferi alive. Oh, there's a Terminus. I'm going to stifle the trigger. We'll see. They probably have Force of Will here. They have 7 cards. But that will at least cost... Oh, no. What's this? Okay, Uro is going to buy them some life here. But it's also going to grow my Orc. Sorry, by the way, if you hear some noises in the background, I have some people working on my kitchen. Okay, so they're at 5. There's a Sanders Lounge. Another binding. Okay, they draw a card here. So they probably have to take the Orc army again. No, they take Bowmasters. Okay. And now they're at 3, and I have a 3/3. So okay, I'm gonna daze here before they draw. They have 4 cards. One is Terminus, but I can't believe they don't have a force. But if they don't, wow, they concede. That's so sick. On a multi 5 with the double Bowmasters. Get it? Okay, so here we want an answer to the creature. We have 2 in the long goodbye, and the thing they not sure it's worth it. Not sure if it's worth it to bring in Murktides, because they are definitely keeping in removal spells here. Yeah, I don't hate Duress. Let's try these 3 cards. I think I cut the personal tutors, and maybe a daze on the draw. Yeah, let's try this. Okay, a little bit of everything here. I'm gonna keep. Yeah, I think we got a bit lucky there that they didn't have a force. They might have had like Force of Negation. That would be kind of my read. Okay, main phase cycle this, I guess, to play around Stifle. Yep, story checks out. It just occurred to me that I kept in Lion's Eye Diamond and Consider. Okay, but now we drew a Force of Will. That's not the worst. Let's see if what did they reveal here? Tundra. Okay, so that's not Bowmasters. Or sorry, Beanstalk. All right, let's get Undercity Sewers. Yeah, okay, I feel frisky. Let's take the Wasteland. Maybe we can stumble them up here, punish them for fetching the basic. Not playing around their Stifle, so. And they wait for my upkeep in case I have Stifle. Yeah, that's fine. Ponder was a good draw here. Yeah, I feel kind of okay about this. I'm gonna take the days and then draw the delta. We can have a think about the second force. Okay, now they have Bowmaster mana and Thrall mana. Yeah, let's just pass here. Keep open Bowmasters. Sanders Lounge. So that gives them the rainbow here. So I wonder if I'm supposed to play the Bowmasters, just make them expend a card. I don't think I hate that. Okay, let's target them. They could have Veil of Summer here. Then I guess I'd rather have it. Okay, it wasn't Leyline Binding. So how worried should I be about Flusterstorm here, I wonder? I think I do just tap out for Doomsday. And if they have Spell Pierce, we daze that. Force of Will. I think I Force of Will back. And hope they aren't sitting on Flusterstorm. So let's put in Cavern of Souls. Thassa. We have the Long Goodbye, which is an answer to their thing. The Thrall, but not if they play Teferi. Probably a Cycler would be nice. I don't know, maybe even Predict. I think I'm maybe not Predict, but I think I do want a Stifle actually for like an Endurance or something. So we could predict away Edge of Autumn and then draw. Yeah, I think that's okay. Let's put Thassa on the bottom, and then Stifle, and then Edge, and then Predict. And let's attack. I guess let's not attack. It's no longer going to be about their hit points, and not that I think they could have like a haste creature, but you don't know. All right, they just concede. Wow, that was good. Off to a winning start. All right, on the play for round number 2, and we get an interesting enough hand. So let's keep this. I think I'm gonna lead on Marsh Flats. I think that gives away the least about a potential Stifle. All right, let's go. Let's play the tempo hand here with Stifle and Wasteland. I am actually gonna fetch Undercity Sewers here. I think it's worth it to get the Surveil, and I think if I don't, then it's a little bit of a red flag as well. If I just go another fetch land, go. Okay, this I hate this. This is one of the seldom talked about downsides about the Surveil mechanic. If I put Doomsday in my graveyard, they're gonna know what we are. I think I still have to do that. I don't think I really can afford a second Doomsday in my hand right now, which could be another card. Yeah, I'm gonna cast Ponder here. That's really good. Okay, let's draw Force of Will and then Dark Ritual. And I think I'm gonna not Stifle now if they fetch. First of all, I want my Dark Ritual, but also like Stifle is now pitch card for Force. Hitch Maze, okay. Could be like, oh, it's Rhinos, okay. Ha, they did the same. Giveaway. Looks like it's Rhino time. So let's think about this. So now I could Stifle. If I Stifle, actually, you know, I'm going to pivot here. I'm going to Stifle. If they Force, I can Daze or Force back. Okay, that just happened. And now I could Doomsday, or I could Wasteland them and leave them with one Force in play. I kind of actually like that. We found another blue card for Force. Alright, let's see. When we get to Doomsday next turn, okay, I'm just going to tease the mirrors. Stifle! No. Alright. It's always super risky to rely on Daze versus the 8 Spirit Guide deck. Alright, so we take 2, and I'm going to put Doomsday on the stack here. Another Stifle. Like, I don't hate it, but yeah, I don't know how good it's going to be. So they Force. Pitch Fire Ice. I'm gonna force back pitch Thassa's Oracle. I guess hope they don't have second force. They didn't. Okay. They do play Wasteland at times, but I'm gonna try to build a pile that sort of plays around that with Predict. Or not plays around that. That ignores Wasteland. And if they have Wasteland, they have Wasteland. They could have Fire, Ice, stuff like that to tap us out, which would be a bit annoying. What's the take here? Okay, so we draw Predict. We predict away Force of Will. We draw land and edge. Yeah. Alright, gonna try this. Gonna put Cavern on the bottom, then Thassa, and then edge, and then the Force of Will. With the Predict on top. Alright. We can't daze this turn because then we can't win next turn because we're going to need our land drop. Alright, so we pass. Let's see what they can do here. 4 cards in hand. Hoping to fade Wasteland. I take 2, go down to 5. This is Violent Outburst. Alright, fair enough. I take 3, and now they are representing lethal, but they are also tapped out, and I have daze. So they can't have Force of Will blue card and Spirit Guide here, so I think we're good. Alright, let's predict away this Force of Will. And we cycle. So for the sideboard, I don't mind being a little bit more of a creature deck. I think Shouldred is pretty good. I think Murktide is pretty good. I think Borrowers are not the worst. This can kill this can kill a Rhino. Not sure if that's good enough. Let's see, we want these 6. I'm gonna cut the LED and the Consider and the 2 personal tutors. I think I'm gonna cut Reanimate as well. I'm not sure about Bowmasters, though we are kind of going for the creature plan, but they have Fire Ice, which is kind of good, and they aren't really drawing cards. Like, Shouldred is good even though they aren't drawing cards because they have to draw 1 each turn, and she can, like, eat up a Rhino. Maybe Reanimate is actually better than the second Bowmasters because if they Force of Will Shouldred, we could reanimate her. I think something like this can work. Oh, maybe I'm supposed to bring in Force of Negation. Yeah, that was... Ugh, what am I doing? Yeah. They can play Pyroblast, but they can play Mystical Dispute to 1 mana counter a Murktide, so we have to watch out for that. Also, I'm not 100% sure I'm supposed to bring in the Forces of Negation. Like, half of their combo is, like, half of their enablers are can be cast at instant speed, so they'll do that on our turn. So it's only for the Shardless Agent into Cascade. Yeah, maybe. And we also have the 3 Stifles that kind of mess with Cascade. Maybe the creatures, like, it is a little bit vulnerable, sorry, like if they have that Sudden Betrayal or whatever it's called, they can take our Shouldred. Alright, I'm gonna keep this hand. A little bit heavy on fast, unsustainable mana, but we have Brainstorm. Meanwhile, opponent mulligans to 6. Long pause here on my upkeep. They could have the turn 1. Alright, I'm gonna play out 1 petal here and pass. I'm not gonna fetch here. I'm gonna take my draw step. Shouldred. That's interesting. I'm gonna play Shouldred. They're gonna need Force of Will specifically, which they obviously play 4 copies of. pause here. I've got a feeling like they have action and they're just like trying to get to the right point in time to pull the trigger. They're taking long pauses on each thing that I do here. Okay, I'm gonna fetch, and I will burn off a petal to stifle, but that appears to not be what's happening. All right, let's see here. Do you have force of will? I assume if they have force of will, this is a force of willable thing. Looks like they either didn't or they disagreed. I'm gonna pass. And this is a 4-turn clock. If nothing else happens, Shoulder deals 6 per turn cycle. If she gets to attack. Brainstorm is in my hand, which will gain me some life. I might just hold on to the Brainstorm here and not give them like a mystical dispute target here. I wonder what's going on over there. Okay. Sight. I think I probably have to stifle this. This feels like too good to be. Yeah, okay. That did it. Wow. Feels like two pretty easy wins here. Maybe I think without wanting to disparage anyone, I kind of feel like sometimes you get these kinds of wins in leagues and you wouldn't get them in like where the stakes were a bit higher. So if that is down to my opponent not keeping a suspect hand with only one mana source, or just like playing on a bit longer, I don't know. Or maybe this would have happened the same way in a challenge. I don't know. But I'm not going to complain. Off to a flying start here, 2-0. Let's go for round number 3. Okay, on the draw for round number 3, we have a turn. No, we have. This is this is almost good, but we need to draw another land to have turn 2 Doomsday. I'm going to keep this maybe against my better judgment. Scalding Tarn. Go. Well, we did find the land, so I'm going to float my Underground Sea here and hope not to get Wastelanded. Another Hedge Maze. Wait, this isn't the same opponent, is it? No. Alright. They liked what they found on top. Okay, there was a Wasteland. This is Beanstalk. I'm going to daze that. They force. Okay. Pitch force. Alright. So they have beans, but 2 forces gone. How about a Dark Ritual? Bowmasters. Oh, we've seen this play before, right? I think I'm actually going to Wasteland their Hedge Maze here. See if we can screw them off mana. Alright, that didn't work. Stifle? No Stifle. But, So we can go Cavern of Souls, Petal. I think I actually will play my Petal here. Alright, Petal's in. I'm going to name Orc. I'm going to pass, and I'm going to cast Bowmasters in their upkeep unless they Wasteland me before then. They could be Bug Beanstalk, which means they could also have Bowmasters. Alright. I'm going to cast the Bowmasters here. The more I think about it, the less I like this play, but we'll see. I'm also kind of hoping that they will use the Wasteland on the Cavern. One, because I would rather have Cavern wasted, and 2, because I'm worried about like I need Cavern reset for Doomsday. Okay. So it is Bug Beanstalk. Are we getting Bowmastered right back? Maybe it's Murktide. Okay, sure. Yeah, that's strong. That's That's a 4/4, I guess. Could be worse for us. Thassa's Oracle. Okay. I'm gonna float the swamp here and pass. Honestly, I'm much happier to see Murktide than Bowmasters from them. Oof, double Wasteland. Alright, please Wasteland the Cavern. Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's not an attack they can make, I think. Another Doomsday. I think I just play the Snow-Carved Island here. I mean, they know about an Underground Sea in my hand, and we could just like make them like burn through their wastelands here, but yeah. Anything that draws a card for them, like any force they have to use or whatever. How many forces are gone? 2 Force of Wills are gone. Okay, I'm gonna drop a land here to play around like Spell Pierce. Okay, so they had the force. And they get to draw 2 cards here. I am pretty concerned about them drawing Bowmasters of their own. Or I guess like any removal spell. I think I will cast this Thassa. Come up the board a bit and get a little mini scry going. This plays into Daze. Oh, they have Bowmasters. I guess they just drew that. Yeah, my Bowmasters is gone. I think I'll take the Dark Ritual. And I'm gonna attack here. Alright, so 3 out of the 4 Force of Wills are gone. I guess that's something. They do not shuffle. Okay. If they can find another Murktide, that's really big for them. If they can find even like Murderous Cut to grow their existing Murktide, that's pretty big. Okay, they Wasteland us. Yeah, this smells like a Delve spell, unfortunately. Okay, so this grows it by 3, so it's a 7/7. And they get to draw a bunch of cards as well. Yeah, yikes. And now the problem is we can't Doomsday, we can't even attack. I guess we have to attack, but we're dead on the swing back. Like they have 13 in the air, so I'm just gonna concede. Excuse me. Okay. So Shouldred is nice. Duress is not bad. Our own Murktide is also not bad. Don't know about Brazen Borrower for their Murktide. Board out LED. Consider a couple of personal tutors. What else? I'm not sure how well I like the Stifles versus them. I'm gonna cut one. I do kind of like Brazen Borrower. Let's cut a Thassa and another Stifle, I think. Let's try this. We could bring in a Harvester of Misery. Maybe that's a thing that could be worth considering. Kill a Bowmaster. 2 payoff spells and Force of Will, plus blue card, plus lands. Yeah. I'm going to lead with the Ancient, or the Undersea Sewers, I mean. And Edge of Autumn can go to the graveyard. I do fully expect them to have several answers to Shouldred, like Shouldred's Edict, or Murder's Cut, or whatever, or even Fatal Push, but they do need to come up with them if we end up resolving her, because their entire deck is sort of made around drawing cards, and unlike Orcish Bowmasters, this is just a much faster clock. Okay, no Wasteland. We draw Brazen Borrower. I think I'm gonna go ahead and ponder here, seeing as we drew a second blue card, and yeah, that's kind of good. I'll take the Dark Ritual and leave Basic Island on top. Maybe I would be more interested in the Marsh Flats. Maybe I should have left that. Yeah, I think so. I draw Wasteland. I'm gonna let this resolve. And maybe live to regret it. And I think I would rather try and resolve Shieldred here, because they are a Daze deck, and I guess that doesn't matter with the Dark Ritual, but like, so we could try and resolve Shieldred. They fight over it. We fight back. They fight again, and then like next turn we try and cast Doomsday. Yeah, I think I'm gonna try that. Kind of nice if they just had Force of Negation here, but I'm not expecting life to be that good. Oh, maybe it is. Suddenly I feel really good now. Oh, Brainstorm. Hook it. Hook it up. All right. You're at 11. Okay, there's Underground Sea. They can't Murderous Cut yet. Yep, they can go ahead and Wasteland me. Fatal Push. Okay. So I do think I'm going to force here. If they have Force of Will back, at least that's gone, and they'll take 2 from the Shieldred. Okay. Alright. So Shieldred's gone. I'm going to draw the Marsh Flats and hope that somehow they can't counter this Doomsday, which I think they probably can. I wish I had a Daze. They had the Daze. Yikes. Okay. I picked up their Underground Sea and not their Surveil Land, so that probably means there's a Murktide coming. Let's draw some business. Any creature or Doomsday. Yikes. Double Beanstalk trigger off this Murktide. Don't expect to be coming back from this. Alright, I'm gonna concede. GG's opponent. Yeah, I feel like versus the One Ring, especially with the 4 colors, like 4 color of the One Ring Doomsday, I feel like Bug Beanstalk is a pretty decent matchup. But against nearly all other iterations of Doomsday, I haven't felt very good playing against Bug Beanstalk. Okay, on the draw for round number 4, I'm going to keep this hand, and we'll see what we're up against. Oh, Volcanic Island. Okay, so this is Delver. All right, I am gonna Dark Ritual Doomsday here because I picked up the Daze. They could have a Daze. We both have Daze. Then they also need to have Force of Will, which they could have, and then they win. If they don't, then that kind of thing. Okay, so let's put in the cyclers here. I think I'm gonna put in a fetch land and island here, and maybe like Force of Will. I don't know. So what? So we draw Force of Will, and then we play Undercity Sewers. Can put Street Wraith into the graveyard. I guess I kind of want Misty Rainforest as the top card. Yeah. Let's put Island on the bottom, and then I guess Force of Will, and then the Cyclers. There isn't an off chance that they are Grixis deck here. Oof. Am I supposed to daze this? I think maybe I'm supposed to daze this, honestly. I don't like giving them another spell, potentially. Like, if they have a counter spell here, they would get another Surveil. Another Lightning Bolt. Okay. And now they are a card type away from being Delirious. And I'm at 6. I'm at an effective 5 because I'm going to be fetching here. I am going to... That means another Lightning Bolt and them becoming Delirious gets it here. They didn't put a card. Okay, I'm not going to pay. So the cards in our deck are 2 cyclers, and Force of Will. Oh, get out of here. 3rd lightning bolt, really? Well, they didn't find Delirium, but let's see if they get one more look here. Oh, fuck off. Jeez. That just ticks me off. Okay, well, I mean, them's the beats, huh? All 3 lightning bolts. Alright, alright, alright. Let's shake it off. Let's get at least these black creatures in. Probably the Long Goodbye is fine. Not sure about Murktide because they are like a Pyroblast deck, but I think they wouldn't have more than like 3 Pyroblasts, and we have a lot of other blue spells, but let's at least bring in these 5. Again, I'm going to cut the fast, same turn, unprotected win cards plus plus the personal tutors. I don't really like Stifle much versus them. I'm actually going to cut all the Stifles, and that I think means I'm going to bring in the 2 Murktides. Man, that's going to take some shaking off. Not only did they find 3 of their 4 lightning bolts in their top 14 cards, they also managed to blindly surveil a Mishra's Bauble. I'm assuming they have. They could also have found a sorcery, I guess. Maybe it's not that crazy, but yeah, I don't know. Felt bad, man. Yeah, I'll keep this. And let's pass. Ponder. Yeah, you can ponder. I think I'm actually going to get my Surveil Land and then probably Wasteland them. I'm going to put Shoulder into the graveyard. That might seem a bit crazy because it is one of the best cards in the deck versus them, but I think we need to be hitting lands here. I'm going to Wasteland them, and then I'm going to pass. If they go land go, then my Brainstorm can get blasted, but Delver, okay. But I was going to say maybe we want Brainstorm blasted over the Murktide, I'm not sure. Force of Will, it's okay. So let's Brainstorm now. Sigh. Okay, I think we just lost. Well, we can't, like, daze 4 times with our 1 land. I'm gonna concede to a Wasteland here. Alright, no Wasteland, and they didn't flip Delver. But we are gonna be moving to discard pretty soon. Like, right now, I'm gonna put daze into... Okay, they get to Surveil. Oh god, that was quite the brainstorm, huh? They keep not flipping in spite of their Surveil Land. So I feel like we're getting a little bit lucky here. Yep. And move to discard again. I think I just forced this. I mean, I'm going to be down a card anyway from going to discard. They force. I think I force back, actually. Holy smokes. No flip once more. Oh! God damn it. Well, we're through the brainstorm lock, but of course, 4-drop. Wow, is that the 5th turn? I think it is. Oh, well. I have a 3/3 flyer now. I'm super dead. Dark Ritual is just about a big enough a tease for me to keep playing, but yeah. Lightning Bolt, fuck off. Alright, I'm out. A quick 2-0. Yeah, let's keep this. I'm gonna lead on just on the Underground Sea, I think. Or maybe I'm supposed to lead on Undercity Sewers to then on turn 2 be able to both ponder and keep up Stifle. I think, yeah, I think maybe I want to do that. Let's put this into the graveyard. Again, pretty uniformly giving away what we're playing. Savannah. Savannah into Aether Vial. Something you don't see every day. Could be... I'm actually struggling to work out what this could be. I like the Predict. I don't really like any of these cards, though. Ooh, Doomsday. What the heck are we up against? I'm actually going to ponder right now and look for a Force of Will. Or I guess Daze is also pretty good. Yeah, let's draw the Daze. So this way we can, like, Daze of Thalia, if that's the thing. It could be, like, some kind of blue-green Maverick Death and Taxes hybrid. Yeah, this is Thalia. Okay, Dazing Thalia. That means we can cast Doomsday next turn. And then we could ponder into a Force of Will. Or we can keep open Stifle. Which I actually am leaning towards keeping open Stifle for their Aether Vial. They could also have Wasteland. Let's get the Edge of Autumn. How does this look? So we draw Force of Will, and we play Swamp, and we pass. Or we draw Force of Will, we play Swamp, we predict a Petal, we draw Petal plus Edge. Yeah, I think this is okay. If they have like Spirit of the Labyrinth out of the vial, that's pretty nasty. We could also actually stifle this right now. This, like the Aether Vial ticking up to 2. But no. I'm not going to do it because if something goes wrong, then they just tick it up to 2 next turn. And they're all happy, but... So maybe we're not supposed to be like worried about Doorkeeper Thrall here. They are a deck, presumably with Stoneforge Mystic and other like Flicker Whisper or whatever. So Thrall would kind of be counterintuitive to that plan. Another Vial, okay. So I'm gonna predict here, and I think if they activate the Vial, I have to Stifle, which means I can't win this turn. Because if it is Spirit of the Lab, then I just kind of fall flat. Yep, here comes Lotus Petal. And I guess I'll play this Petal and pass. I mean, had we known they weren't gonna Wasteland us, I think stifling the Vial going up to 2 would have been good. We would have just won a turn earlier, but yeah, if they had wasted, then it kind of falls apart, the plan. All right, let's see if they have the Thrall. I don't know that there's another card that stops us here that I can realistically imagine them having. But maybe, let's see. Thalia, okay. Okay, you get the plow. Cool, cool. Alright, so it is just Death and Taxes with a green splash. I think we want the Harvester of Misery here. The Long Goodbye seems fine. Um, Probably not Murktide. If they are like a Flicker Wisp deck, that seems kind of bad. I think Bowmasters is okay. So maybe just these two. Could argue for Brazen Borrower, but maybe not even. I don't think so, because we already have 4 cards to deal with like X1s, and I think that's mostly what's going to happen. We can board out a Thassa. I think Reanimate is not going to be relevant here. If they have removal, they will be plowing our things. Actually, though, that is sort of kind of what got me hooked to this, so maybe I'll keep the Reanimate. I think I'll cut 2 dazes. I guess only 1 daze, yeah. Alright, let's try this. So Thalia decks, specifically Death and Taxes, is usually one of our good matchups, so that is worth remembering. They kept 7. Okay, so against my better judgment, I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna force a foil Aether Vial, I think. Yep. And I'm gonna pitch the Ponder. And that way I can daze their turn 2 Thalia follow up. But losing Ponder does kind of suck. I think I'm gonna play out these Petals. Not expecting like Engineered Explosives or whatever. Deep-Root Wayfinder. Whenever it deals combat damage, surveil 1, then return land from it. Oof. It's gonna like loop Wastelands. Yeah, I'm not gonna fight over that though. I'm gonna get Undercity Sewers here and get the surveil. I'll put that into the graveyard. The Long Goodbye. Okay. Dark Ritual into the graveyard. Find a land. That's good. Crap. Okay. So this is gonna get ugly here. At the cost of a petal, I'm actually going to kill this creature now. You know what I was supposed to do? I was supposed to daze my Long Goodbye because it can't get countered. I think my daze is worth less than the Underground Sea. I'm going to cycle. Though, daze on Thalia. And they pass. I am actually going to Wasteland them. Take them off a color. Didn't work. Mother, okay. Another Wasteland. Cavern can go away. Rashad Port, mildly annoying. Another Mother. Oh, non-matching Mothers. Not a fan. Okay, so they can port me now, and then I can Wasteland their port. LED. So if we find a cantrip, I can cast Doomsday next turn. We don't, but we do find the swamp here, which is nice. That also means Doomsday next turn. But we are having to like fade draw steps from them. Oh, bummer. So that was their draw step, obviously. I think they should be attacking with 1 Mother of Runes. I have 1 card in hand. Alright. And I could be playing out this LED, like if they ever resolve Thalia, then it would have been preferable, but I also like them not knowing what's in my hand. Stoneforge, yikes, okay. So what happens here? They get Cauldra. The next turn, let's say I resolve Doomsday, then they can deal 5, 6, 7, potentially. Yeah, I think they should have been getting in here. Come on. A land, please. Unfortunately, I think I have to go fishing for a Dark Ritual now, one of which is in the graveyard. That's no good. Alright, I'm just going to concede. And I don't think a lot changes for the sideboard here. Yeah, let's keep this. And I'll go Island Ponder, I believe. No thanks. Oh, LED also not amazing. I think I'll force that. Pitch the Stifle. Alright, let's go looking for a Doomsday. I think I have to shuffle these. And I'm left with kind of nothing. And do I float this sea? If they have Wasteland, that kind of fucks me up. So I'm going to actually float this and this Cavern named Wizard. And maybe I'm supposed to play out the LED. Yeah. I click through. There's Thalia. I'll have to send her, give her the long goodbye. Or I can just cast the Doomsday. Yeah, I think I like that actually. Now I really wish I had played out the LED. So I am very much banking on them not having anything that like can be flashed in or whatever, or that I need to remove. How about this? A Consider. So we draw Consider. We consider away Edge of Autumn. Draw Street Wraith. And then Street Wraith. Nah. Wait, why is there a Misty Rainforest in here? Get out of here. Guess Lotus Petal? Alright, so we draw Edge of Autumn. We play out LED for a mana. We cast Consider. We put Lotus Petal into the graveyard, draw Street Wraith. Yeah, something like that. Alright, let's go. Imagine if they, like, if this, we end up losing to, like, a Mindbreak Trap next turn. I could have not lost if they had, if I just played out the LED earlier. That's quite aggravating. Okay, I like that Surgical. That's a good play. This messes up my pile completely. Okay, so they attack here, and now they have Rishadan. So if they use their Rishadan, their Thalia is going to die. And if they don't use Rishadan, they can protect Thalia with Karakas, but then they're not porting me, so I don't know. So I think I will just cast this LED. And then I'll pass, and they'll probably port me. And then I'll cast Consider. I mean, we could also... So what's left in the deck? It's Petal, 2 Cyclers, and Thassa. So if I like float mana here and then cast Consider, sack LED, then if Petal is my top card, I think I just win, barring them having Solitude. But if Petal is not the top card, and it's just second or the third card down, like Petal either has to be the top card or the bottom card, so it's like a 50-50 shot. Yeah, I think I just cast Consider here. Okay, so that's Oracle. So that's in our hand now. That also means that we can no longer like use LED. I think we just have to pass here and hope they don't have like another Wasteland. If they have or port, if they have Wasteland or port number 2 here, then we need Petal to not be the bottom card, basically. Stoneforge Mystic. Okay. They get a Jitte. Okay. That probably means they just have Kaldra in their hand. Thalia attacks. Yeah. All right, I mean, this is good. We can't pass anymore anyways, because we have to respect Caldra, and we're at 5. So I wonder if they just port me here. I think I would do that if I were them. Like, realizing that the game's about to be over anyways. And if I have to, like, tap out, I would have to tap out to kill Thalia here. Um, and where does that leave me? Alright, so that's being tapped. What do I draw here? I draw the Petal. So that's kind of a bummer. So if they have Solitude here, they get us. I think that's sort of the long and the short of it. But we have to just go for it. Alright, they didn't have Solitude, so we win. Alright, cool. Okay, so like to sum up here, a 3-2 record, which is subpar for how the deck has been. So a little bit disappointed. Felt like I don't know. We got some fortune and some misfortune as well in this league. I think like beating that 5-color beans player with double Orcish Bowmasters and like off the mall to 5 felt kind of lucky, and then like our Rug Delver opponent just filthily having trip lightning bolts, and the Surveil land getting them exactly over the finishing line also felt kind of disgusting in the other direction. So I don't know. The loss to Bug Beanstalk felt the most sort of significant, I guess. Um, I didn't really feel like I was that much into that match, unfortunately, as far as being competitive. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. And do the YouTube stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. That really helps the channel. And I'm trying to grow this little channel here, so I would very much appreciate that. And I'll be back with some more Legacy. Bye bye.